Good morning, look at that, hope you're well. Yesterday we ran a really good session on how to halve the amount of meetings you have in your calendar. Very much needed. If you want to copy that replay, just drop me a message and I'll fire you over a link. But I had a really good conversation during it, and one of the things I was talking about was changing the dynamic of a meeting, and that's kind of the location, the mediums you use and things like that, just to drive engagement, change the length of it. And one of the ones that I was talking about was walking meetings, and as you can probably tell that I quite like going for a walk. But walking meetings are fantastic. Yeah, if it's a one-to-one, or maybe there's like 3 of you, you've got obviously a limit of how many you can have because it then starts to break out. But having 2 or 3 of you go for a meeting is fantastic, because you get outside of the office, you start to change the dynamic, right? So when you're outside and walking, you get creative thoughts. It's been found through studies, so there we go. And it just means that you can change how people are thinking. There doesn't feel the same pressure as you have in the office. So if you're in the office, you're very much work focused. It can lead to those traits that you have with the office, the associations, everything sort of feels a bit formal. It might remind you of certain rules that are in place in the office, certain SOPs, and basically put some limiting beliefs in about what you can actually achieve. And also it feels a lot more intimate. So if you want to have a chat with someone, give someone some feedback, or you want to talk about a problem you're having, it's just that change of space, change of view. So if I wanted to have a chat with my boss about something I was struggling with, the ability to do it outside of the office feels a lot more releasing. So you haven't, I don't know, like you're not walking into their office, sitting down the other side of their desk, or sitting at their little coffee table they've got, or going into the same meeting that you might have boardroom meetings in. It's that mindset shift that you can have as you step outside. So and it's also bloody good to connect to people. It makes it more human, more personable. So if you are back in the office, and when you're doing in-person meetings and stuff, just have a think about it. It's like, would this be something we could go for a walk for? I used to do it a lot at a couple of my old places, because they were on science parks. They had these brilliant like walking loops around the outside. If you're in London, there's tons of parks. Same with like in the US, a lot of these, everyone sort of says, oh, I'm in the middle of a city. But even, I used to go to San Francisco a lot, and Santa Monica and stuff. There was always like these loops that you could go through with a little bit of greenery and a little bit of something where you could feel sort of connected back to nature. So give it a try. I promise you'll see some difference. Like I said at the start, this was off the back of basically a round table I run every week. So if you're interested in that, drop me a message. Or if you want the replay from the meetings, which is basically how to reduce them by being the like planning in advance of the meeting, how to make the meeting more effective while you're in it, and also changing the sort of dynamics and situations for a meeting. So with that, have an awesome day, and speak soon. See ya.